Just a couple days ago, I got this really surprising message on Facebook from another dog trainer. So here is what she said. I just got my numbers finalized for last year and I did $1 million. There's no way I could have done that without taking your classes. So of course, I turned everything back around on her and said the credit goes to her because if she hadn't applied everything, then she wouldn't have gotten those results. And she's a hard worker and she listened to everything really, really well and implemented things really fast. So I always give everybody credit for that. But she said that she did this retreat of mine back in January 2021. And then she told me what her numbers were before that and what they were after that and how it's grown since then. And this is a really fascinating story. It's got so many interesting things about it that are kind of surprising. And I think it'll be inspirational to many of you because of those surprising things about it. First of all, the first thing you might be wondering is, well, how big is this company anyway? Like for her to do $1 million, that's a lot as a dog trainer. You might be thinking that it is. So how big is her company? Does she have like a huge amount of staff or whatever? So I'll explain about that in a minute. And you also might be wondering what she did in order to grow as much as she did or how much that growth was. What did she make before that? And then what is this class that she's talking about? So I'll cover all of that and then also give you some extra tips as far as the things that she adjusted and the things that she changed that made that impact on her business. And then you can do similar things. You can do the same things. So the retreat that she mentioned was something that she did, like I said, back in January 2021. Right now it's March 13th. 2023. So it has been over 2 years since that happened. And she was already doing really, really well. She knew that she could do better. She knew that she had the potential to grow and to be more consistent and not burn out and still have plenty of time off. And that's what she wanted. The year before the retreat, which would have been 2022, or no, it would have been 2020. That's when everybody was super busy. So pretty much every dog training business, no matter how great they were at marketing, almost everybody was busy during that year. That year, she had made $305,000. So in 2021, after she did that class that she was talking about, that year, she made $539,000 by making a few changes. She made that extra $234,000 that year and had even more time off. Then the following year, last year, 2022, she earned an extra $464,993, crossing over that $1 million mark for the year and had even more time off. So one of the great, fascinating, surprising things about this is that's awesome about her story is that as her income grew, she had more time off and all from making just a few simple, quick changes to her programs and to her sales process. They weren't things that were super difficult or changes that just took forever to implement. They were things that could be done right away and things that would have an impact practically overnight. So all the things she did were major and fast and had this major and fast impact because they were things that were not difficult to implement. They were super quick and super simple. Full disclosure though, I believe that she would have gotten these results and gotten to this point eventually on her own without my help, even if she never knew anything about me anyway, because she is a hard worker and she's smart and she's a great person and she has a lot of great skills with dogs and with people. But she knew that she could get there faster by not just working harder, but knowing the things that she needed to know, what to focus on, what to do, what to actually change, and what actually consistently works well for people in this industry. So when she joined the class, she had a breakthrough after breakthrough, even in just like the first few minutes, first hour of listening. In your dog training business, you might work on your own out of your house. That's totally fine. That's the majority of the people who ever do any of my workshops. And that's how I ran my dog training business the majority of the time as well. So that's totally fine. She does have a small staff. So she has 3 trainers that work for her. So maybe on your own, that would be 1/4 of her team. But imagine if you could grow from where she was to 1/4 of where she is now. That would mean that you make $250,000 a year. And you might not even need that, or that might not be your goal right now. What you might want is to just have things more consistent or be able to go full time or to not have things going up and down so much all the time or to have more time off. And you might have no facility and no staff. That's totally fine. Most of these goals are exactly like most of the people in the programs that I have done and all the workshops that I've run over the years. And that's the way mine was as well. So maybe your goal isn't $1 million a year or even 1/4 of that, but it's just to stop the ups and downs and stop the burning out or stop the inconsistency and all that. So I got you. Totally understand all of that. So how did she accomplish all of these things and what can you do to imitate the minor things that she adjusted that made a huge impact in her business? Along with all the other similar dog trainer stories from past workshops, similar stories that I could share with you. How do you do those things? What did she do? So as I said, she only made just a few small changes to her programs primarily. That's what she started with. That was the first thing she did. At that time, her average income per client was already really good. From 1 month to the next, it went from $2,500 on average per client to over $3,500 on average per client. And then from 2020, she went from her most popular program being $1,795 to now her most popular program being $5,595. So let that sink in for a second. That basically means that she needed to have really great skills on who she's trying to attract, what they want, what they value, and be able to, to be able to get people to want a program that's that valuable. And also have really great skills with the things that impact your income per client. So your program creation skills, what's going to be included in your program. So the first thing you always need to focus on is what your ideal clients really want and value, and create programs that include those things. And that's a skill. That's something that you need to know, how to have options that people can spend more. They can choose to spend more if they want to. So that program creation thing is an absolute must for dog trainers, to know really well how to do that, because that's what you have available for sale. Your programs are the thing that you sell. That is your business, basically. So if you don't have that done the best way, you will end up making less money and working harder. And that's just kind of the natural result. And what tends to happen to, burning out tends to be the biggest problem among dog trainers once they start having some consistent income. So the second thing is her sales process was tweaked. She learned a ton about what to say to people and how to influence people and how to talk to people. And it turns out you need a lot of people skills in this dog business, and that's exactly what she did. And that's something that even my most introverted dog trainer friends love about some of the selling things that I teach, because it's super easy to talk to people and not be pushy and not be uncomfortable and still get people to see the value in what you do and be willing to spend a lot more than you think is even possible that dog owners would want to spend on your knowledge and your services, all those things at the same time, and still not be uncomfortable or pushy. So a few tweaks to her programs to increase her income per client. That was her first focus. And then a few tweaks to her sales process to be better at talking to people and influencing people. And then as her business improved, she made more tweaks to things like her website and a few other areas of her marketing. But the things that had the biggest impacts were the things that she did first. And that's something that you can do the exact same thing. But first you need to figure out which things would have that impact, which things to focus on that's going to give you the biggest improvement, the fastest, with the least amount of work. So you can do the exact same thing. There's just one major problem. The program that she did back in the beginning of 2021 is closed. It's not even available. It's not on the website. It's nowhere to be found. You can't get in. It's not possible. So when I wanted to share this story with you and be able to give you that inspiration of the kinds of things that you could accomplish, and how a lot of times it's things that you don't have to spend a huge amount of time figuring out. You just need to know what they are. When I wanted to tell you the story, I didn't want to be like, but there's very little you can do about it right now because that program's closed. That wouldn't be cool. So what I decided to do was reopen a program that normally is also not available to the public, and open it just for a couple days, just so you can have that as a resource if you'd like to learn these things faster than you can on your own, just like she did. And then also have a discount and then close it again. So that program that we're opening now for just a couple days is something that includes all of the information, the same information that she learned about program creation and selling. All those retreats are part of this program as well. And it includes monthly live retreats again, so you can keep getting personal help no matter how slowly you work your way through the program or how quickly. You can get feedback on everything and answers to your questions along the way. That program is called PEAK, P-E-A-K, which is actually an acronym, and you'll find out what it means when you go to the page with all the details on it. So I'll put the link down below. This is the most loved retreat or workshop or class that I've ever done. And the students that are in there, including the one from this story, are there in a private Facebook group, and they're waiting for you and ready to help you get the same results that they've gotten. And there's other people who are just starting out. They're just getting going, so they'll work alongside you. It's an amazing place to be. It's such a fun group of people. So you will love it. All the details are at the link below. And along with that is a coupon that expires on Wednesday night. So go get it now. This is literally just for now, March 13th, 14th, and 15th. So go get it while it is open. Another quick thing to know is that if you know you want to get my help personally, but you're not even 100% sure that this is exactly the right program for you after you look at all the details, go ahead and go at the bottom and just do the deposit. It's completely refundable. It'll hold your spot and hold your discount until we have a chance to talk. So we'll talk on Zoom for a few minutes, or on the phone, or on, chat on Facebook or something. Make sure it's the right fit for you. If it's not, that's fine. I will just give you a refund for that. But there's also a 14-day guarantee on the entire retreat. So you can get in and back out for any reason in 14 days if it's not the right fit or you just don't feel like it or any reason at all. So there's absolutely no risk. I always like to make sure you feel like there's zero risk for these kinds of things. So you got it. If you have any questions at all, send me a message, send me an email, send me a text, anything like that. All the details about getting in touch with me are down below as well. Or you can just comment down below, anything like that, so I can help you figure out what would be the best fit for you right now and answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this story inspires you. And if you want to know more about what she did or what she changed or anything like that, stick around because I'm always giving more resources on those topics because they're super fun to teach and they work great. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in Peak.